Joining me now, New York One Washington correspondent Kevin Frey. Kevin, good morning to you. I want to start off with what our Stephen Collinson wrote about this. He often paints big pictures for us. He writes this, quote, Donald Trump's refusal to take part in another presidential debate with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris marks a significant moment in the 2024 campaign and hints at vulnerability for a political career built on the foundation of his television fame and mastery of stagecraft. And, you know, I have to say, having covered Trump since the first time I interviewed him one-on-one was way back in 2013 when he was first considering running for president. And this was the thing that kept him above all of his primary rivals in 2016. It is something that ultimately helped lead him to victory. His dominance, basically, over various rivals. That is the thing that of all of the realities that we saw on the debate stage seemed the most changed to me. Yeah. And it's clear to me his team didn't want to be tagged with, you know, backing away from this. But that's fundamentally what they're doing.
Oh, right. And it was just a couple weeks ago that he was saying any place, any time. He was pitching these 3 different debates on 3 different venues over the course of several weeks. And now we're back to actually, you know what, the one we did is more than sufficient. I mean, he's used to, as you were hitting at, he's used to steamrolling his way through these things. And I mean, the last debate with Biden, he didn't really have to do much in the way of steamrolling because Biden was kind of imploding
he could sit back and let that happen.
Just let that happen on his own. Yeah. And so now, I mean, Kamala Harris needled him and needled him and needled him, and he took every single bit of bait. And look, Kamala Harris got in all this fundraising as a result of this debate, and clearly her team sees this as a chance to, because of the tight time schedule, put herself right out there in front of folks, let her talk in a very public forum, and if they can repeat what they did the other night, all the more power to them in their view. Yeah,
I mean, Kevin, what is Harris's imperative here? Because while, yes, that national poll that Reuters put out shows her kind of increasing compared to their previous poll, her lead, again, national registered voters. It's not, we don't want to take any one poll too seriously necessarily. But she has work to do, right? And her team will acknowledge that she does. They will say they understand that it is an incredibly close race. She has not had that many unscripted moments in this very compressed time frame. What do you think is the imperative for her here in the final stretch?
Well, I mean, so her campaign she keeps calling herself the underdog because I think there's a desire to make sure that there's not enough complacency within her supporters, given the excitement that has really bubbled over as a result of her launching this campaign. It seems that she is going to be leaning in on trying to, at least there was some reporting, doing these local interviews, doing outreach to local folks in a way that allows you to talk to voters without maybe getting all the national questions. And then she also, through this debate, didn't have a lot of opportunity because she was needling Trump all the time to necessarily go into a lot of policy. So perhaps a second outing would allow her to kind of take that approach to the debate as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that we have been hearing from some of the undecided voters that we talked to in the immediate aftermath of the debate. They said, hey, we want to hear a little bit more about her. And those local interviews, I mean, you work for New York One. I mean, and I've seen them in terms of when you are a national reporter traveling with a candidate, it's where typically they'll do them pretty quickly right after an event, or before, pull asides with usually local political reporters that will then land on local news stations. It's a little bit of a low stakes way to go about this, no?
Lower stakes, generally you're not going to get, no offense to the local press, as many probing questions.
None to you at all.
No, I'm not taking any. You won't get necessarily probing questions. You're also getting a media environment that, look, national media, there is a trust deficit. Local media still has value in the fact that people believe what they're hearing. And so if you're talking to your beloved local anchor and you're the presidential nominee, you kind of have that advantage that people are watching with the eyeballs. And it's like, okay, this is a person that's speaking on my behalf.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way to think about it. Kevin Frey, so grateful to have you on this Friday. Thanks for kicking us off. I appreciate it.